Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's house. I'm the Little Reader, and you're in my house, and I couldn't be happier to have you. Pull up a chair, put on some mittens. I guess I'll be moving my hands so you can put your mittens on and your socks on, your cozy socks. Get the fire started. I'm going to tell you, here in Southern California, it's raining. It's raining in the Los Angeles area. We had thunder. Lights went out only for a second, but that's about as close as I get to rural wildlife right here in the suburbs. I wish I got closer. I'd like to. But in honor of this weather and this time, I'm asking you to go full on winter with me. Get by the fire, light a candle, and just cozy it up. Also, theme of the reading, it doesn't hurt that we are talking about the winter of your romantic life. So we're approaching winter, at least when this is being recorded. You're in the winter of your romantic life. I am with you, spirit is with you, and we're going to find out just what's going on right here and now. So the more you can enjoy this process, and something tells me that's going to be a theme for the entire reading, the more you'll learn, the better you'll feel, and the more excited you will be for spring. No one ever says when they're in spring, unless, of course, they have allergies, why is everything blooming and why is everything beautiful and why is it all green and fresh and, you know, all the colors? Nobody complains in spring because spring is beautiful. We complain in winter because it's cold, it's dull, it's often wet. Typically not here in Los Angeles, but maybe where you are. It's maybe lonely. And if you live in Alaska or something, you could get snow covering your door. You're trapped in one place. We complain in winter because it's uncomfortable. But what comes after winter, beautiful soul? Spring. Your spring is guaranteed. We're not looking in this reading, spoiler alert, at whether or not love is coming for you. Spring is guaranteed. Spirit wants you to know that as certainly as the seasons change, you will have your love in your arms, you in its arms, fulfilling you in all the ways you dream of being fulfilled. That is a certainty. So if that's what you were wondering, you can take this and click off the video right here and now. Enjoy knowing that it will happen for you. If you're trying to get educated, however, about why you're in this winter in your romantic life, then stick around. Let's look at our different groups. Before we pick our piles, or our crews rather, please grab a pen and paper and something hot to sip on, because another thing about this reading that came in before we even started is that when you're fired up, you don't feel the cold. Another reason we complain in winter is because we're uncomfortable. If we can get comfortable, if we can fire up our internal heat, moving and feeling alive, exploring colors like the red you see here, if we can fire that up, we won't feel the cold, and we'll be much more primed to get through the season and take in everything we need to know and come out for the best spring we've ever had. So grab your pen and paper and something warm to heat you up, even if it's just your own enthusiasm, like me. And then let's look at our gorgeous crews. First, we have our beautiful Seahorse Crew. So the Seahorse is this light blue and green color. It is sitting on top of the Blue Temple card from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, an incredible deck. We're going to talk about what this card means after your tarot reading. So that's our beautiful Seahorse Crew. Then we've got our Golden Leaf Crew. This Golden Leaf Crew kind of speaks to autumn, which is the season I'm in when I'm filming this. Doesn't really matter though. If you're feeling this vibe, this beautiful golden and slightly green in some areas vibe, then you may be part of my Golden Leaf Crew, sitting on the Lightning card from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. Pulled just for each crew, by the way. These were not aesthetic selections. They just happened to work color-wise perfectly. Total coincidence, not prearranged. Then my beautiful Magenta bird. Magenta bird with a heart just there in the chest. It's my Magenta bird crew. Oop, I'm motivated to show the back, which is not the same color. It's this nice brown. But here we have magenta, and that is sitting on top of the blood card from, you guessed it, the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. So take a moment, get real still and peaceful, and look at what you're drawn to here. Could be colors, could be numbers 1, 2, or 3. Could be purely energetic. If you're like me, you may have seen the thumbnail and clicked because immediately just by seeing the thumbnail, you were already called into a specific pile. That's typically how I fall down the reading rabbit hole right here on YouTube. So take your moment, select your crew, and I'll see you there, beautiful soul. Hello, my beautiful Seahorse crew. Look at your gorgeous little avatar today. I'm going to set you over to the side. Thank you so much for being here. Before I set you down, I just want to let you know how worthy of love you are above all else. More love, never less, especially when you feel like you're in the winter of your romantic life. That can be a really easy time to forget that you're worthy of all of the love that romance can bring. So don't forget it. I'm setting you down right over here on the side with the Blue Temple card, which we're going to talk about after your tarot. Interesting directive, but what spirit requests we do, darling, here in the Little Reader's house. So we are starting with the Wild Unknown Pocket Animal Spirit deck. We're really rocking the Kim Krans energy. I noticed that with the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, that's by Kim Krans, and this Pocket Animal Spirit deck is also by Kim Krans. Ooh. So if, like me, you are motivated to look up any podcasts or interviews with Kim Krans, you may find those to be of value because her energy is strong with us here. So Spirit, we're looking for 2 things for my beautiful Seahorse crew. First, we're looking for the energy that Spirit is magnifying and enhancing, bringing out, expanding in your life right now during this winter time. The second thing we're looking for is what shadow aspect or element that Spirit is healing during this winter time. So basically a light element that is being expanded and a shadow element that is being healed. And the 2 are often very directly connected. So Spirit, please show us that from beautiful Seahorse crew. This is number 1, our light element being expanded. And number 2, we are not going to take a jumper. If it comes back out, I'll accept it. Number 2, we're looking at that shadow element. Whoop, here it is, eagle. Okay, so also notice something there with the cards. In both pools, 2 cards came to the surface, but the one just underneath was the one that Spirit wanted us to take. So make a note of that, and let's get straight into the tarot. Today, the little reader is focusing on something called efficiency. Wild, right? I can't explain it, but it's just the move. We're using the Tarot of Oneness, and we're going to lay out your spread. Wow, and we're going to do that thing that I just did, explosion. An explosion of cards, which may have reversed some of them. Let's take a peek. It did. So I say efficiency, and Spirit says, you said what? I'm going to just throw some loops in here for you, and you're going to love them. But hey, it be like that sometimes. So Spirit, show us now, why is my beautiful Seahorse crew in winter romantically? Why are they romantically in winter? We know that there are no accidents, and we know that you place us where we need to be placed for whatever our spirit and soul have signed up for. But right now, our mind, our ego, and our conscious self and subconscious want to know why. Ooh, the world popping out. But again, what are we not doing today? We're not taking jumpers. So Spirit, show us. Perfect. Oh, there it is again. Did you notice that? Second card under the one on top. Very interesting. It starts with the embodiment of swords, King of Swords, followed by the Fool. Let's make sure we have room here. Blink. blank, blunk. Followed by the Fool, followed by the Inspiration of Swords, followed by the Action of Swords. Whoa, we have almost the whole court of swords here. Very, very interesting. We're going to make a little bit of room to make sure everything's in frame and visible for you, darling. And then Embodiment of Swords. Can you clarify that King of Swords, please, Spirit? Clarify that King of Swords. Ooh, the Four of Wands. Beautiful. Clarify the Fool, please. That one came from right on top, so we're getting a pattern change here. Clarifying the Inspiration of Swords. We have the Three of Cups. And clarifying the Action of Swords. Ooh, interesting. This is, I missed it, but this card got reversed from that spray of cards that came out. I'm also feeling guided to take this top card, the Devil, and to look at our bottom, which is Present Moment. Beautiful. And these two go together. That is as obvious to me as you are beautiful, which means incredibly obvious because you're incredibly beautiful. So, taking a moment to admire the spread. Things I noticed intuitively right off the bat. Top row came off, as well as these cards, with a theme of being the second card under the first. Interesting how it just slid out. Oftentimes when shuffling or doing, even if you're shuffling for like Uno, the natural movement that the body wants to do is take the top card right off the top of the deck. Kind of muscle memory, especially if you like played Go Fish as a kid or you were a dealer in Vegas. I don't know how you roll with this Devil card here. Maybe you are a dealer in Vegas. I love it. Can I come visit you? Just make sure you're gonna rig it for my benefit. No, I'm just kidding. Here though, this was immediately an energy of we're not following our impulse. We're looking a little bit deeper. We're sensing something just underneath. We're sensing an energy just underneath. That was our top row. Things got a lot more simple for our clarifying row. And based on your energy here, my beautiful Seahorse Crew, I feel like where you are is toward the end of your winter. It seems to me you've been in it for a while. Could be a long while, but it really depends on what you feel is long. In a general reading, I don't want to throw out numbers. For some people, long is a month. For other people, long is 10 years or more. So it does seem like you've already become, I'm hearing a song. I've become accustomed to her face. It's from a movie, I believe a British film, a musical, but I've never seen it. I've only heard the soundtrack, and that was, interestingly, over 10 years ago that I heard that. So you've become accustomed to it in a way. It's almost like a normal for you. Starting with what is being nurtured in you by spirit is emotional intelligence here with the frog. So the frog is a master of water. The frog is hopping around on those lily pads, going from pad to pad, taking it all in. Starts as a tadpole. It knows how to swim. That was unintentional rhyming. The frog is immersed in water at the beginning of its life and for the first stages, just getting a feel for the agua. Then it grows up, it goes through its metamorphosis, it turns into a creature that's leaping on to lily pads, and depending on where this frog is from, I do believe we have even desert frogs, and we have frogs that aren't necessarily immersed in water all the time, but particularly for this card, which has the water symbol emblazoned on the top, the element of water, spirit is getting you Gucci with your emotions. So it's all about making sure that you are validating and acknowledging what you feel when you feel it. This sense of really being raw and really playing with crying, sad movies, sad songs, the feeling of loneliness, everything that you hate about being single is exactly what spirit is asking you to look at right now. Oh, isn't that just the kind of message we wanted to hear here? I know, I can feel it already. Little reader, like, are you serious? Everything I hate about being single, really? Yes, but you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. There are literally thousands of people with you. So please, my beautiful Seahorse crew. Also want to say something about the seahorse. I Googled the symbolism before we began, and it was about navigating your emotions and being grounded in the ocean. That's like something the seahorse is known for, as being a little warrior dragon in the water, in the immense, vast ocean. So we've now got the same message twice. And wait till we get to this card, because guess what? I already looked that one up too. But we're going to talk about that after we read this. All in flow. The thing that is being minimized by Spirit here, or healed, and when I say minimized, I mean brought to an artful and natural close, is eagle energy. This is air energy. We have the air symbol emblazoned there at the top. And we have an eagle, which, where do you find these bad boys? Yes, that is right, in the air. The eagle is known for flying high, okay? I don't know if it's true. I don't know if they truly fly above the clouds, and I don't know if that's unique to them either. But in this type of symbolism, this is a navigator of the sky. And what that tells me as your reader is Spirit is shifting you away from the mental plane and feeling everything intellectually into the feelings themselves. Now, I'm already feeling your energy. I can already feel you, and I can feel a resistance rising in small part here, because you're a feeler. And it occurs to me, darling. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Outlander lately, so, and Mrs. Doubtfire always slinks in one way or another. But it occurs to me, darling, that you consider yourself an emotional, sensitive already. So you're like, little reader, excuse me. I know how to feel my feelings, okay? And I right here with you, I accept that 100%. You certainly do know how to feel your feelings. And guess what? This period of winter in your romantic life is making you an even better feeler of your feelings, if you can believe that. It is also an integration process. So you'll remember how I said these two cards are connected, not to be looked at as separately, but to look at side by side for their contrast, if you will. So nothing happens in a vacuum in Spirit's world. Everything happens simultaneously. First of all, time isn't even really a thing in Spirit's world. So everything happens simultaneously, and everything happens cohesively and holistically. When Spirit heals your ability to feel emotions and is bringing your ability to really feel and be one with and navigate and use your emotions, it's happening at the very same time that Spirit is encouraging you to focus less on intellectualizing them. So the very direct message that we're getting here, my beautiful Seahorse crew, is to not try to understand your emotions so much with that sharp mind of yours. Instead, be with them. Allow them to pass through your mind, because your mind is the reflector of all energies that pass through and around you. So things are popping up in your mind all the time, thousands and thousands of things an hour. And I can see that what you've tried to do in the past is assign meanings and symbols to your emotions. Like, oh, well, I'm feeling terribly sad right now, so that must mean processing old grief or wounds. I am, give me Spirit, give me an example, please. Ooh, I'm feeling something for someone who's not feeling it right now. Like, as an empath, I'm taking on their sadness. I'm grieving an actual sad event that happened in my life. I'm sad because I'm single, okay, and I completely understand that. And then the reasons just abound. And it's not that those reasons are not valid. Well, they are so very valid. They're the validest. But what Spirit would like to guide you through during this winter of your romantic life, and to teach you and show you to prepare you for spring, is that some things you're just allowed to feel without understanding. And that is, okay, I said that I wasn't going to say certain things, but Spirit wants me to say it. That is going to be important to the next relationship that comes for you. In your spring era, baby, when you are with somebody and you're deeply connected, they're going to feel things that you can't explain, and you're going to feel things that you can't explain. There's not going to be an intellectual explanation. That is both in the shadow and the light. So you're preparing here now to not judge those things, to not analyze those things, to not be a fixer about those things. But it starts with you. You, my beautiful, grounded, bold, I think you'd be going this direction. Yeah. Seahorse Crew. Beautiful. So let's look at the tarot and see what other information Spirit wants us to have. Starting with our first row. King of Swords is very much like eagle energy. In fact, I would say this might have even been based on King of Swords. I'm not Kim Krantz. And again, she's here with us. Hi, Kim. But it may have been based on this because the King of Swords is our most intellectual, mentally acute, externally expressed member of the sword family, also known as the air family, also known as the mind family. So flanked by the Four of Wands here and supported by the Four of Wands, Spirit's saying you're already a master of the mind. You're a master of the mind, and there's no need to continue developing or forcing any insights that you receive. Interestingly, if you look at this card, and I'm hoping the camera's focusing on it, or I'm going to manually do it. You'll see that this butterfly is totally just sailing over this crown. It's not landing on the crown or the feather. It's like passing through. You see that? It's just passing through this frame. This butterfly is calling out to me as insights, as psychic knowing, as emotions. Interestingly, I'd like to re-show you this theme of blue that's popping up everywhere. It's showing up in your seahorse. It's showing up in the blue temple card, which represents major energies. And it's showing up here. It's the color of emotions. It's the color of expression. It's passing through, but it's on the move. And Spirit is saying for ultimate success, your task at this moment to take away from this reading, and if you're jotting down notes, you can jot this one down, is that you don't need to hold on to every thought. You don't need to fixate on things. Just let them flow by, especially when you get into analyzing your emotions. There's no need to fixate or hold. Let it flow by. Meditation would be incredibly valuable for you if you already do it. I'm so proud of you as a meditation teacher. I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again. I will always push meditation. It's as close as I get to talking about a panacea, a cure-all. I don't believe that it is one, but it's as close as I've ever seen. Because meditation and breath work will allow you to relax your nervous system, and your mind becomes more penetrable, and also like a sieve allows things to flow out the other side, For your success and your happiness and your joy during this time of winter, this is why you're here. This is why you're in this moment, is so that you can learn how to let the thoughts flow by, let the feelings flow by. You hold space for them, you feel them. But I want you to imagine like when you're pouring mac and cheese water out of the pan into a sieve and you want to catch the noodles, or you probably use a colander. You are now that colander. You let it flow through you. In fact, this kind of looks like someone's pouring the mac and cheese water out onto this frog. Obviously, they let it cool down before they did that. Obviously. But see how the water just pours down almost like it's going through something? Your task now is to let it flow through you, not to capture it. Your mind, you may be someone who says, my mind is a steel trap. And it's amazing. I love that for you. In this process, it's time to redefine and re-identify. Your mind is now a colander. Second row here with the Fool over the Eight of Swords. So with this eagle thing, I also see the energy, and we've got another bird flying here. I also see the energy of an individual who is a go-getter. You may identify as a person who's type A. Interestingly, I'm also seeing an equal amount of people who are like, type A my ass. I identify as type Z. Like I'm calm, I'm mellow, I let things happen. However you choose to view yourself, your energy is an individual who likes to create opportunities for themselves. It's an individual who's empowered. This eagle is not a weakling. The eagle, which is energy you've been in for quite some time, which is why it's being released and healed now, is decisive, goes after what it wants, Ariana vibes. I see it, I want it, I got it. The frustration of not being able to do that. Look, another bird symbolism. Check out the feathers that are just there on the sand, having fallen down. The energy of being in the winter of your romantic life, I feel, is very frustrating for you. Understandably so. That's completely valid and completely normal to be frustrated by the fact that you're not paired with someone who is equally as wonderful as you are and enjoying the exchange of loving energy. But there's more to it than that for you, Spirit is saying here. For you, there's also a frustration where you're feeling like this is a weakness on your part. You're feeling, not embarrassed is not the right word, but feeling some shame and some unworthiness because what you want isn't wanting you right now. Now, maybe you even have a specific person in mind, and if you're in a soulmate or twin flame kind of conundrum, please check out the last video posted on this channel, which is why your twin flame connection won't ground. If you're in some kind of dynamic where something keeps flaring up and falling apart. But if that's not you, this simply stands to say that you're frustrated because you can't create where you're usually so good at creating. You can't get something that I think you're used to being good at. I think you're used to attracting people, and I think you're used to being wanted by people you actually have interest in. And in this winter period, I think that you aren't interested in the people who want you, and the people you want aren't interested. But that is by design. Spirit is teaching you, and we're going to move here in a minute, but spoiler alert. Spirit is teaching you to trust, and Spirit is teaching you to be patient and sit with. I can already hear, it's like I can feel the energy bodies of the beautiful souls who are listening, because it's a wave of release, but it's also a wave of frustration. Spirit wants you to sit with the immobility and understand that this isn't yours to control. Your new beginning, your spring, is going to come. It is as promised as the seasons change. It is your Fool card. Guaranteed. But just like the seasons change, no matter how badly we want it to be spring, if it is December 21st, it is in fact winter, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. So Spirit's also saying you're learning to integrate with nature, you're learning to integrate with rhythms, you're learning to integrate with flows. Just like with this frog card, and we're going to talk about this soon, it's all about allowing what's happening presently. That is why you're in this romantic winter. It's not a failing of yours. It's not anything you did wrong. It's not because you're trying too hard or not trying hard enough. You're just being yourself. And Spirit's saying what we want you to learn is more about yourself. We want you to learn, again, more about feeling your emotions versus, I have to cough, versus intellectualizing them. So now we move over to the Inspiration of Swords and the Three of Cups. Inspiration of Swords is our Page of Swords, and the Three of Cups, wait a second, before I make any promises on that. Is it the Queen or is it the Page? It's something I always get a little bit confused on. Okay, it is in fact the the Page. With this Page of Swords over this Three of Cups is all about our friendships, our community, yes. It could have to do with the friend zone for some of you. If that's where you are, that is completely okay. I'm hearing some of you may have feelings for a friend. You may be stuck in a situation where either you've been friend zoned or you friend zoned somebody, or that doesn't have anything to do with it and you just have friends who you love. With those friends who you love, take the opportunity to express your feelings in platonic ways. There's an idea here, my beautiful Seahorse Crew, that you felt in the past that deep emotions, deep connection, deep emotional intimacy is only shareable and understandable by a lover or a romantic partner. And there's an understanding here with this particular row that Spirit wants to just, woohoo, let that one go. Redefine it, reframe it. That until you have a romantic partner, you're not going to be able to experience the depth of emotional fulfillment. And Spirit says, no. Great news. You can experience the depth of emotional fulfillment in platonic ways. And now is actually a fantastic time in this winter of your romantic life to express your thoughts, express your feelings. Here we are with that blue color again. Express whatever passes through. It's almost like this passed through this frame into this one. Whatever passes through your colander or your sieve of a mind, don't hold it in. Express it to your friends. Share it with your friends. They're your friends. Like, they're literally, their job is to listen to you, to love you. Neither myself nor Spirit are coaching you to emotionally dump on them against their will, but trust that it's not against their will. Trust that they're there because they want to be there. Your friends want to support you. They want to listen. They want to give to you. So another reason that you're in this winter, romantically speaking, is so that you can develop such strong bonds with your friends and your platonic connections that you don't feel when spring comes, you don't have to choke out the flower and like inhale the scent off of it like you're taking a hit of something totally legal. Instead, you want to, and look, we even have a flower here. That's funny. Instead, you want to, when spring comes, already have your cup full. Look at that. 3 full cups. And 3 was important, particularly for your crew. Spirit was like, the number 3 is significant. Also had me draw out 3 mushrooms and just place them here for your crew. They're not in frame. Many things aren't actually during our readings, but they're contributing their energy from afar. Yes, things are happening that you cannot see. Another message from Spirit. But 3s, perhaps hang out in a trio of friends. Do things in groups of 3s. 3 is a sacred number because you, my beautiful Seahorse Crew, have been focused on 222. Like 2, it's the number of love. And I want it. And I want that soulmate connection, that mirror. And Spirit's saying, you'll have it. Spring is coming. You will have it. Oh, it's kind of like the opposite of Game of Thrones. But first, friends, give to them. Take from them in equal measure, of course, with both people's consent. Take their time in exchange for yours. Take their attention in exchange for yours. You're giving to them too. Don't be afraid of being a burden on them. In this winter of your romantic life, spring, and also Spirit, it just started raining, so I got a little distracted. Spirit wants you to focus on your friendships, building your friendships in preparation for spring, because once again, this is going to be very valuable when that 2 finally comes up, that 2 of Cups moment, and you're linked. You're going to want to have these strong bonds. With our Action of Swords, which is our Knight of Swords, over the 5 of Swords in reverse, this is back to that eagle energy. Action of Swords is my personal, as a reader, fastest card in the deck. It's the Knight of Swords is usually racing forward, yes, with a sword. And there's also a feeling of violence there because it's bearing a sword. So it's the fastest card in the deck, possibly the most violent. And 5 of Swords is usually a card of stubbornness and like really standing your ground and really just focusing on something you want above all else. But notice how it reversed to come out for this part of the reading. So there's a very distinct message here, especially once again flanked by the Devil. So the Devil, these 3 go together like a little group of 3. Oh my goodness, there it is again. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Spirit wants you to remain completely open to all possibilities and watch out for obsessive tendencies. So with a mind like yours, my beautiful Seahorse Crew, you are prone to falling into the abyss of overthinking, potentially obsessing. And with this action of swords, you also like to move toward the things that are on your mind. You don't just sit and think. We can see that with the eagle here and with the Fool foiled by the Eight of Swords. You're an individual who goes forth and gets it, darling. And in this situation, Spirit is asking during this winter time, don't fight the feeling. That's a song, I think. Or I can't fight this feeling any longer or anymore. Whatever it is, don't fight the feelings of stuckness. Don't fight the feelings of sadness or of loneliness or anything else you feel. When you're with your friends, don't fight the feelings of intimacy. Don't fight the feelings of admiration, of love, whatever comes up. Like, whatever it is, be with it and allow it. Don't, with the Five of Swords in reverse, it's like you don't want to stake your claim and get so stuck and so stubborn and so attached to something because you want it to happen so badly and make it happen. Spirit, I know you want me to say this in another way. So what is it? What is it that you want me to say? What is it that you want me to say? Allow everything to flow. Allow everything to fly and fly by. You don't have to make anything happen because what's meant to happen will happen. Referring to controlling nature, you cannot make spring happen in winter. We are in the winter of your romantic life precisely so that you can learn surrender. And we see it with your back of the deck energy here, which is present moment. Present moment, a card made specifically for this deck. So present moment is where Spirit wants you to be, here and now in winter. It kind of goes back to what we talked about a little bit at the beginning when I said everything that you hate about being single is what Spirit wants you to be present with right now. It's not a failure. It's not a punishment. It's an opportunity to get to know yourself, to create more spaciousness in your mind, to watch Spirit create new beginnings for you instead of forcing them yourself, to connect with your friends and family more deeply and more intimately and feel seen, heard, and valued by the people who are already in your life, your platonic connections, to prove to yourself that emotional intimacy is not exclusively a quality of romance. It is something that you can get from your romantic relationships as well. Your platonic relationships as well. And that's going to be really handy in the spring because Spirit tells me you will end up with a person who requires space for their own thoughts and for their own feelings. And you're going to want a crew there to talk to in those times so that you two work so well together and so compatibly instead of needing to get in there and know everything and do everything. I just heard green lights and light bulbs going off above some of your heads. So that really clicked and I love that. Finally, with the action of swords, no obsessing, no forcing any outcomes to be. Be in the present moment and understand that it has been made perfectly, just as you have been perfectly made. My beautiful Seahorse Crew. Both of you, both the present moment and you as you are right now, have been perfectly orchestrated for the best outcome for all beings. There is no mistake. Winter happens. It is followed by spring. I promise. You can come back and haunt this reading, comment in the comments, and say, I'm single as beep, 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 redacted right now. And then spring will come. Now, my only request is that you remember to come back and update your comment, because if there are a bunch of comments that say, I'm single as beep, beep, beep right now, and then they're never updated, you could see how that would cause an incongruency. I'm totally kidding, my beautiful Seahorse Crew. I want you to be so happy that you forget for a time, at least, that I even exist. Now, I promised we'd go to the Azure Vault, the Blue Temple. And here we are. In the Blue Temple, beautiful soul. It's all about emotions. So, spoiler alert, before we even got here, Spirit had already sent a very clear message, which we're just going to use to wrap it up and put a bow on everything. You are in winter in your romantic life so that you can feel the intersection between your imagination and your emotions, so that you can allow what you feel in your heart to be felt without judgment, so that you can turn your feelings into creative acts. For those of you who write, who sing, who dance, that was tap dancing, who play the piano, an instrument, or I don't know, you could be a coder. In my opinion, everything is a creative act. Breathing is a creative act. Spirit would like you to transmute what you feel, not into an analysis, not into a story, unless, of course, it's one that you're sharing with others, your friends. But I mean, when I say not into a story, I mean into a story in your head that you keep repeating, like, oh, I'm single, oh, I suck. No, you're single and you're freaking awesome. Believe me, I can feel you, my beautiful Seahorse Crew. You're freaking awesome. Like, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with honing these last skills before spring comes, so that you are fully equipped with the type of person, the beautiful person who's your match when they arrive. So, Blue Temple, feel your feelings, go to the depths of the ocean, navigate and be with it present. Consider a meditation practice and use your breath and your presence to be a sieve, a colander. Trust completely that this season, the more you focus on these lessons and what you've taken away here, the faster the time will seem to go. I don't do a time frame here. I won't do a time frame here. I just promise that spring will come. And with that, you know all that you need to know now, beautiful soul. One final little spiffy takeaway is we're going to use the Healing Mantra deck from Kahn, who I love with every fiber of my being. And we're going to ask Spirit for a little something. Hey, no jumpers today. Hey. We're going to ask Spirit for something that you can say to yourself anytime you get tense and tight and frustrated about this situation. Tense, tight, and frustrated. It happens. Anytime you feel overwhelmed by thoughts or emotions. Because again, it's a practice. Even developing meditation is a practice. So feeling tense, tight, and frustrated is part of it. It doesn't just happen in one day. At least, not in the third dimension. So Spirit, what is the perfect thing for my beautiful Seahorse Crew to say to themselves when they feel frustrated about this situation, or just, nope. There it is. Polishing my heart. What is it? What does it say? It's blue. That's not a surprise. I'm not laughing because it's not perfect. I'm laughing because it's perfect. Feeling is the power that helps me heal. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. So feel it all, beautiful soul. Feel it all. Don't judge it. Don't say, good feeling, we're going to feel that one. Bad feeling, we're not going to feel that. There is no good. There is no bad. There just is. And I know that's rich and precious and easy to say when you're in a chipper mood like I am right now. But guess what? I fall into the depths of despair. Shout out Anne of Green Gables. Myself. And I will tell you, from someone who's been there, feeling is a power that helps you heal. So write it down, hold on to it, keep yourself warm, and because I know winter gets cold, warm and hopeful. And I promise you that you're going to be just fine, my beautiful Seahorse Crew. Thank you so much for sharing the time and space with me and letting me be your reader today. I'm sending you all the love I've got. All that stuff, that cool stuff, that promo stuff is in the description box below. You know what to do, and you know how to support this video. Until we meet again, beautiful soul. Bye for now. Hello, my beautiful golden leaf crew, and welcome to your reading about Why Am I in Winter Romantically? I don't know why I had to sing that, but that happens a lot here in the Little Reader's house, so hold on tight and consider not wearing high-quality earbuds. With this lightning card, this is directly from the Wild Unknown Alchemy guidebook, or deck rather, and we're not going to talk about it until after we've read the tarot. So I'm going to pop this over to the side, and I'm going to pop you over to the side as well, but not before I remind you how deeply worthy of love you are. Has anybody told you lately? I know it's tough, especially in the winter of our romantic lives, to feel like you're worthy of love, because we have so many ideas about what romantic love means, and we know what it feels like, many of us do, and we also see the way it's advertised and shown as kind of the end-all be-all of love. So I completely understand if there's any kind of feeling of unworthiness or exhaustion, or maybe there's just like a sort of level of numbness, like, I don't feel anything, I feel fine, and that's okay too. Either way, you are so very worthy of love, more and never less, just so you know. So I'm going to pop you over here now, and we're going to start out by doing some pocket animal spirit cards. And what we're asking spirit for in this delightful little peeky is what spirit is growing within you right now and shining a light on and expanding within you, and what spirit is minimizing and reducing and releasing, healing, and integrating. So it's kind of like looking at a light aspect and a shadow aspect, but it's under the context of a kind of like a new energy that spirit is bringing in, and an energy that's been there for some time that spirit's ushering out. So with that understanding, spirit, please show us for my beautiful golden leaf crew. Gorgeous. What energy are you, no jumpers today. What energy are you expanding in them, increasing in them? Nope. Almost. What energy are you expanding or increasing in them? Okay. So let's take a couple breathing exercises first, because there is tension and we are going to let it go. So we'll start with shaking the shoulders up a little bit. Up, down, kind of wiggle your shoulders up, down, alternating. And we're going to take a nice deep breath into the belly. And we're going to sigh it out. Because I want to get answers for you easily, my beautiful golden leaf crew. So the more relaxed you are, the easier it's going to be for both of us. Let's do another deep breath in. And out the belly. Perfect. Phenomenal. Perfect, darling. You did so great. So now that we're a little bit more relaxed, let's see if things flow out more easily. Yes, spirit, show us what you are, yes, growing inside of my beautiful golden leaf crew. Perfect, tarantula. And show us what you are releasing and healing and integrating to. Yes, indeed. Very interesting. Okay, so check this out. With the tarantula, this is fire. The tiger is also fire, and the dolphin is water. But on this side, these are two qualities that are being let loose or released. On the left is something that we're building. The tarantula is a creature that is, let me first illustrate what I'm seeing. I'm seeing children in a museum petting a tarantula. And this may even be a memory of yours as a child or with children, yours or other. Some of the children go right up to that tarantula's belly with their little finger and just doot doot. In fact, let me illustrate it for you here. Boop boop, right on the butt. And they're like, oh my gosh, tarantula, how cute. And other kids are like, get that bleep 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 thing away from me. Obviously, kids are not using profanity. We hope. Actually, I don't mind. But, you know, the other kids are repelled. Spirit's message here immediately is that what Spirit is wanting you to do, my golden leaf crew, is embrace all sides of you. Those that some may find repulsive and those that some may find like, oh, so cute. It's not so much about the tarantula being a spider and a hard worker, because you're already that. I can feel it. You're a very hard worker. Some may even say a overachiever came out first, but I was going to say, what is it when someone escapes into their work? I'm not sure. Nevertheless, it's not so much about the animal. It's not about being more furry, although you can be touched. You can be touched. You are furry and cuddly, just so you know, and you need physical touch. Another gentle message from Spirit is that physical touch would be mighty beneficial for you. The message here, aside from the tarantula as a creature, is the reaction that people have to it. Also, something is saying here that you may feel sometimes like you're an unsavory character. Not that you're the bad guy or the villain, Billie Eilish, hey, but that you rub people the wrong way, or because you're introverted and shy, you think like, oh, sometimes I just have resting face, and people, that's what they think, and that's fine. Like, whatever, that's the way I come across, and it is what it is. And see, you're a gentle soul, my beautiful golden leaf crew. So I know that for you, it's not really just as simple as it is what it is. Like, you want to be perceived well. You want to be seen as lovable. You want to be thought of as cuddly and warm and cozy. But there are aspects of you that you're afraid people will perceive as scary, vile, off-putting. The way some people respond to spiders. I almost said arachnids. Is that a spider? I don't know. But the way some people respond to spiders is like very repulsed. And Spirit is saying here, don't you worry, child. See, heaven's got a plan for you, and that you are perfect, and that you are actually phenomenal. And tarantulas are considered to be highly valuable in Spirit's eyes, and you are highly valuable in Spirit's eyes. And guess what? People don't see you as a tarantula. They don't see you as a spider. They don't see you as a bug. Another message here is that is largely self-perception, because you, my golden leaf crew, are very hard on yourself sometimes. Very hard on yourself. People actually see you as amazing, wonderful, someone they want to know more about. See, this isn't an objective reflection of you. It's Spirit saying, we want you to love the parts of you that you think may bother others. But they don't. But ultimately, Spirit doesn't even want you to worry about how other people perceive you, which is why it's diminishing these qualities. So let's talk about this real quick. I'll pop you right over there. Blink. Over here, interesting that 2 cards came out. It's one of my favorite signs. It's giving Gemini, darling. And it's giving Gemini in that there is a quality, and this has come up a lot recently. So either our Gemini viewership has increased, or Gemini folk on the globe are having some breakthroughs. But it is the idea of contrast and opposites. We got fire and water, and the twins holding 180-degree opposing qualities. This tiger, I believe, would be residing in a tropical dry, maybe not dry or tropical. I don't know. Where do tigers reside? This is embarrassing. I'm not sure where tigers live. I didn't watch enough of the Jungle Book, I guess. The jungle. Okay. Dolphin is in the ocean. Vastly different. This is a fire element and a very aggressive hunter. And I believe kind of a lone creature, like flies solo a lot. Dolphin is like super playful, super happy, very community, and once again in the water, and it's not serious. Look at the intensity of this tiger. It will bite my head off if I look at it for too long. This dolphin's like, hi, can we be friends, please? And these 2 things have been living inside of you. Not that either of these qualities are not phenomenal, because they are, and they're part of you, and that's wonderful. I can see that your personality is very multifaceted, very different. You can bust out when you need to bust out when the situation calls for it, and then you can put that away and be different when the situation calls for it. But Spirit does not want you to live by what the situation calls for anymore. Performativity. I don't know if I just made that word up, but I like it, right? It's a good one. Performance is an element here that Spirit would like to reduce in you, because it's been acting as a defense mechanism against being real and being authentic, rather than just being the tarantula, which is yourself at all times, irrespective of how that may be perceived by the children of the museum, meaning other people. You have had for quite some time this quality of I can be intense and sinister and very masculine and action forward, or I can be like fun and playful and very gentle and like, ooh, like giddy and feminine forward and like receptive and passive. And, you know, I alternate these almost like a juggler, almost like the Two of Pentacles, depending on, you know, my mood sometimes or the present moment. But when I say your mood, it's not necessarily because it's authentically your mood. It's because you think it's going to save you the effort of having to be real with people. Oh, my beautiful golden leaf crew. Gosh, I love you so much. You're an artist. And I completely understand this. It's actually brilliant. You're brilliant. You're a genius. Spirit's saying, now that you've mastered this, it's time to move on to the genius of authenticity and saying, this is how I feel right now. This is who I am right now and always. I'm not in the mood to party, so I'm not going to put my party face on when I'm in the mood to be a tiger. And when I'm in the mood to be a dolphin and be social and have fun, I'm not going to be like standing in the back of the room with a kind of intense face that makes people wonder if I'm a Scorpio. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I love Scorpio too. Love Scorpio. Let's not even put me down that road. Anyway, what I'm saying here is, and I think you get it, Spirit would like to dispose of the many faces based on the social situation and doing less work and have you focus on being exactly who you are for real. For real. That reminds me of, and I was just watching it for Halloween, the movie Fright Night, where I think the Chris Sarandon character said, does he say welcome to Fright Night for real? And in that film, it is, here comes the nerd. In that film, it's about, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll give you just general synopsis. And I'm talking about the original one. Yes, I'm a little bit snobby on that account. I believe the original one is superior to the new one. In the film, a character who plays a vampire hunter on TV, cue the character situation, the performative situation here, ends up in a situation where they have to bring in everything they've learned from their role as an actor into real life and just really be that thing, the vampire hunter in real life, IRL, kids. So that's kind of very emblematic of what Spirit's doing to you right here, my beautiful golden leaf crew. Spirit is saying you are becoming real, like in that book with the Velveteen Rabbit. To become real, to be loved. Oh my God, why do I want to cry? Hard. My heart just did something. Whew. To become real is what you're becoming, my golden leaf crew. So that's what Spirit is doing to you and for you. What is a better way to say it? That's what Spirit is doing for you. It is making you real in this winter of your romantic life. It is saying that the type of relationship that you are looking to attract and enjoy and bask in and thrive in is going to require you to be REAL, real as heck, real as heaven, if you will. It's not going to work when your spring comes, which it will come, as I was telling our beautiful Seahorse crew, when spring comes, which it will, it's guaranteed. That means that person comes, the one that you're going to have this really deep, beautiful emotional connection with. It's like this next level. Spirit's revealed to me a little sampling of what the relationships look like for people, like the romantic relationships we're going to see in the fifth dimension, and for folks like we have here in our beautiful audience and community. It's going to be glorious, but it requires complete and total realness, the performativity gone, and an immersion, honest immersion into showing who you are, showing your true colors. That's why I love you, so don't be afraid to something if you do your true colors. Beautiful. I don't know what that song, I'm going to assume it's called True Colors, but anyway, let's get into the tarot, because I was also telling my Seahorse crew that I'm looking to be efficient today and get you the answers you need without having, well, I'm still having fun, without just having too much fun. So, but you know what's interesting? Because Spirit just kind of checked me on that, and I think it's a message for you too. Don't be afraid that life's going to get too good. Don't be afraid that life's going to get too fun. It's not going to get too fun or too good. You have the capacity for all of it. You're worthy of it. You're deserving of it. It's meant for you. Life is meant for you. The Devil card and other things too. But pleasure and joy. See, with that Devil card just flashing me, it's like there's a fear here that the better it gets, the worse it's going to be when the shoe drops. Other shoe drops, is that what they say? Like things are going to get wonderful relationship. You get real. Everything's great. They accept you in the beginning, and then flammo, it all just falls apart because it can't really be that good. It can't feel that good, can it? And Spirit says, oh yeah, it can. That's what your spring feels like. That's what your spring feels like, and it's coming for you, baby. So Spirit, why is my beautiful golden leaf crew in the winter of their romantic life? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Tell us why. Tell me why. You're getting along with songs. The Sun. Yeah. The Queen of Wands. Yeah. The Page of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. And the Star. Oh, okay. Sorry. Don't mind the noises that come out of this mouth. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about that with my therapist. Clarifying the Sun, please, Spirit. Oh, whoa, whoa. Okay. I feel like that did want to come out, but guess what? If it wants to, it will. Another thing. If they wanted to, they would. That's for you. If they wanted to, they would. So Spirit, please clarify the Sun for us. Ooh, I got a little aggressive there. The Sun. Oh, see, now you're just leaping. You're so relaxed right now, my beautiful golden leaf crew. Like, you're into it. I love that for us. Queen of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Clarify that Page of Pence, please. Ooh, the Five of Pentacles. Pentacles and the Star. Five of Swords. Interesting. And then our back of the deck energy is the Hanged Man. Yeah, you're a musical one. Or there's just music in your heart that's ready to come out. Did you just say, I'm not musical. You're musical, baby. You're musical. If you're here and this is resonating, you're musical as it gets. And you can sing. You can something. You can have the time of your life. Dancing Queen, ABBA, yo. By the way, if you live in London, highly recommend the ABBA show. Very enjoyable. So check it out. We're going to go through it piece by piece by piece. But we've already said practically perfect in every way. You have a goofy side, and I swear I'm going to get focused here. We've already said everything already. So if you're like, all right, I'm out, little reader. Okay, love you, bye. But if you're sticking around, let's summarize it. With the Sun and Strength, there is an idea here that, first of all, there is no good thing without pain. And Spirit is saying, think again. Love where your head is at. We love that you're a strong person, but happiness does not require suffering. If you've got a pen and pencil handy, please write that down. Happiness does not require suffering. Another thing is something like no good thing comes to those who don't wait, that hangman thing. Not necessarily. If there are areas of your life where you can take divine action and you can move things forward and you can see that happiness is right there for you, feel free to move. Whoa. Okay, something just flew by my face. Feel free to move toward it. You don't have to suffer to have good times. You don't have to, and that car just confirmed it. You don't have to wait indefinitely to have good times. Also, I'm hearing like the dark side of the sun, and it's interesting because if you look at this card up close, I don't know, it could just be my eyes. But it looks like that's a little bit darker than that side. Bring. Which reminds me of that Gemini energy again, which is like two sides to every story. It's like two sides to every story. What does that mean? Spirit, what does that mean? Who is butting in here? Interesting. So your winter seems like it could involve another person or another two people, interestingly. And in either case, Disregard them both for this moment because this is for you. This is about you and for you. And that's another thing. If you're all stopped up and all tied up because you're worried about hurting someone else or you're worried about how you'll be perceived, we see it again here with this really intense focus on other people's perception and doing right by everyone because of your integrity. My beautiful golden leaf crew, massive amounts of integrity, major props to you. It is beautiful. Your character is solid. You don't have to worry. But if there is a person or multiple people, whatever, just others in your life other than yourself, that there's some fear of hurting or disappointing, it's like you've got to be strong for someone or something. Spirit's saying the winter in your romantic life is in a way being held up by that. And again, I want to clarify that you can't just, that's not true either. Give me the right word, Spirit. You can't fast forward winter to get to spring. That is true. But Spirit is saying in this situation, you may be actually at the end of winter and are holding on to it. Like, wait, can we just get a little bit more snow here, please? Why is the snow melting? What's going on? In a way, the winter period is being prolonged by this idea of needing to be strong for someone or something else. And again, it's only you in this situation. It's only you. If this were the Lover's card or this were something, some group situation here, I would think to myself, oh, well, maybe in this winter, it is very vital that you know, there's someone and it's all percolating and it's coming together, man. And no, this is for you and only you. Spirit wants you to know that you're in winter because you're learning to advocate for your true self, your real self. With this Queen of Wands, let's just go right over because we hammered that nail not only through the coffin, it like went all the way into the ground. I think message received there. Queen of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. There's this magnetism and this beauty and attraction. The Queen of Wands is a character who sits and lets everything come to her. Strength and passivity. She's got a black cat like guarding her, like, yo, no bad vibes here. She's so attractive that she needs a familiar to stand there and like ward off the bad vibes. But then when it's clarified by the Four of Pentacles, this attractive, let it all happen for me kind of vibe, like let those who want to come, it's kind of turned into a stagnancy. With the Four of Pentacles, it's gone from that attractive, magnetic, beautiful energy. And remember, we talked about that. We said that you have these personas that Spirit's identified where you can be like super attractive and in this feminine receptive energy, or you can be in like this masculine dominant, like I go forth and I get it energy. And you kind of like play with those and like shuffle them up depending on the need in the situation. But it seems like in your romantic life, you have kind of, the balance has gotten a little off. Like there was this passive receptive energy, but then it became like this almost like an emperor, like, or here we see it with the Five of Swords actually. So we're getting there. There is this quality of like, constipation, like waiting for something to come, but also being super stubborn about not getting off the throne. Okay, and there could be something going on with the digestion here too, because getting off the throne and constipation is giving me a very direct thought, but really think about it. And if that's happening, hey, confirmation. And also shredded wheat is great. But the Queen of Wands is sitting, waiting for things to sort themselves out at her best. At her shadowiest, she is sitting there immobilized, waiting for everything to do itself without her intervention. And backed up by the Four of Pentacles, we see that here. So you're in your winter because Spirit wants you to get off the throne. Oh, there's a saying for this. Shh. That's like a beep. But I'm trying to also tell you what the bad word is at the same time. Like beep and get off the pot. That is what we're looking for here. Or no, beep or get off the pot. Like do either. You may be torn between a decision here. Spirit says, make up your mind and either pick a person or pick a thing, whatever it is, even F all the other people. sorry, we getting nasty in here. Pick yourself. I'm pulling out the tarantula card to remind you to pick your authentic self. Indecision actually isn't really a thing in the spirit realm or in the universe. We live in this polarity where there's a natural opposite to everything. And when we're talking about romantic winters, darling, there is a natural opposite to you that is, irrespective of who you are, or where you're from, or whatever, there is a complementary opposite to you. There are actually quite a few, but you're probably aware of one of them that is available. Like it's in your sights, and this natural opposite will complement you greatly, but you have to be authentic in order to get it. You're in this winter right now because we're releasing these old games of performativity and busting out the right. And this is very common. Empaths and light workers is very, very common. Like, we all do it, actually. I think psychologically speaking, that's not an I think. That's my education. We all have elements of the change and how we bring out different parts of ourselves. But that changeability has put you in a situation where you think you're indecisive, or you think you cannot decide, or you cannot choose. And in this situation and all situations, Spirit is saying, when you look at who you really are and you look at yourself and what you know, like what is true and authentic about you, especially when nobody's looking, just you, because apparently that is also where you've only really been yourself, is kind of when you're by yourself. So it might also be a good idea to start practicing being exactly who you are around everybody. That's indecision will go away. You will feel the vibes. You'll know what's up. And you can step off the pot or off the throne and stop holding and move into this next phase. Now here, interesting messages. We got 5 and 5 side by side. So big change is coming for you. And Spirit tells me, my beautiful golden leaf crew, that you've been going through a lot of change that could have been bing. I don't know what that is, but could have been being put off and then kind of just happened to you, like a tower moment here. Or it could just be that things are changing. Times are changing. With 5 and 5 and 55, it's like a master number here. We don't reduce two of the same. Interesting. That's giving me an interesting message too. But not interesting, but not relevant. Page of Pentacles over the 5 of Pentacles. You want to give, but you are afraid you're not going to receive. Spirit says, nope. You will, if you trust yourself and you be your authentic self, you will receive in direct proportion to what you give. So please let this fear go. A, that you're going to disappoint people. B, that you're going to give and not be given back to. Indecision also stems from not having a lot of self-trust. Maybe you haven't made decisions in the past that have led to good things, or you made decisions like confidently and boldly and found out, oh, that wasn't what I really wanted. And that's okay. That's natural. That is the human condition. Spirit wants you to build your self-trust in this winter and say, believe, trust that who you give to and what you choose to give your energy to will give back to you. It won't deplete you. It will give to you, and that it is what you're wanting. I'm going to shift my legs real quick, so if you need to take a stretch break, I recommend it. Oof, and that's funny. Well, not funny, but interesting that I had to do it right then and there too. Trust that you'll choose the right thing. Trust that what you give to will give back to you, and trust that it is what you're needing and wanting. I think you've become really comfortable with winter because you like things a certain way. And when you acknowledge to yourself, my beautiful golden leaf crew, that you would like change, that you need change, that you crave change and closeness, you're going to feel much more ready and much more motivated to give. Finally, with the star over the 5 of Swords, very clear message here, which is that ultimately, you know what you want. And if you don't know it consciously, you know it unconsciously, and you'll know it more and more consciously the more you allow your true self to shine through, your authentic self your real self, whatever that means to you, whoever that is, to shine through, you will be unable to deny your dreams, unable to deny what it is, but you have to look at who you really are, not under the guise of any other people, or not with the idea of performing to any other people in mind. Letting go of this stubbornness, this image of who you've created, like who your persona, your personality, who you're known as to your friend group, letting all of that go is when you will align beautifully with spring, with your desire, with your dream. Here, it's a beautiful, empowering message for you, my Golden Leaf crew, because you are being told by Spirit that you actually have the power to end winter. Like in the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe episode, I believe. That was like a book, right? Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yes. Something about them being stuck in perpetual winter, I think. Roll with me here. Then some curses are let go, and the queen gets off her throne or something, and next thing you know, endless winter is over. That is what's happening here. Curses, the curse of feeling the need to perform, the curse of feeling the need to be somebody, the curse of sticking to who you've always been. Like, you've changed. We got 5 and 5 side by side here. Change is built into your reading like goofiness is built into me. It's in the freaking DNA. You have changed, and it's okay to accept that and accept the new you and the real you and show that to others, and then know that you're going to, like a gravitational force, be pulled to. There's something about your natural opposite in a complementary way existing already in your field, like hovering there, just like, woo. And it is waiting, it meaning your natural opposite, a human being of the romantic variety, is waiting to be pulled into you magnetically. Magnetism. When you let go of a fear that it's not going to be enough, a fear that it's not going to meet the standards that you hold. Well, those standards were fake, so we can let those go. With the Hanged Man here being your back of the deck energy, this Hanged Man is one that has been placed here, your winter, so that you could come true to who you are. And it's a matter of identity, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely radiant. It's, in fact, transformative, especially with these double 5s. I'm laughing because, again, transformation, change, it's all right here. So that, we're going to just look at this last card and then close it off, but that is why you are in your winter, my beautiful Golden Leaf crew, and you will be out of your winter post-haste when you sit down, decide who you are, and I mean that, like, really be like, this is who I am. Feel yourself, whatever that means to you. Be with yourself. Take some time to discover it, and if you can't discover it, create it. And your romantic winter will come to a swift and beautiful close, and spring will be there. Let's last look at this lightning card. Kind of another indicator that it's gonna, it's quick. It's happening quickly for you. Interestingly, and I peeked at this before the reading, but this is something that Spirit, it's your main takeaway, your main lesson. And this speaks to perfectionism. And it came out here, and it came out here. It's the idea, my beautiful Golden Leaf crew, that you have to be perfect, that is being healed in this winter. Not only do you have to not be perfect, in fact, Spirit would prefer you don't be perfect, because the ego's idea of perfect is extremely distant from what Spirit considers perfect. True perfection is realism. It's acknowledging the truth of your feelings, the truth of your thoughts, the truth of what you're drawn to, the truth of what you dream of, maybe even in your sleep, the truth of what scares you, the truth of what keeps you stuck, the truth of what scares you in good outcomes, how sometimes good things can scare you too. With this lightning card, releasing the perfectionism, yeah, did I say that correctly? Perfectionism, yeah. And embracing the flawed but genuine article. Flawed only in the ego's mind, for the record. is magical secret here. To heal, to provide clarity and heal you in this winter time. So let's do one last thing, which is get a healing mantra from Kahn, and then I will send you on your merry way, my beautiful golden leaf crew. It's been an honor to bask in your energy. You're funny, you're goofy. Yeah, if you don't know who you are, let me tell you a little bit. You're funny and goofy and kind and maybe a little bit shy. You're creative and sensitive and bold about sticking to the truth. Your character is unmatched. I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. You're phenomenal, genuinely. So please, look, allowing appreciation. Let's allow appreciation of you right now. You're great. So know it, even in the areas that you're shy, you don't want others to see. Maybe you haven't been ready to admit to other people yet about who you are and what you want and what you like. That's okay. You'll get there in this stage. And remember, spring always arrives. So Spirit, for any time that my golden leaf crew is feeling a little unsure, a little worried, a little shy about revealing who they are, what mantra can they say to themselves? Please, Spirit. Ooh. Honoring adversity. Honoring adversity. A fire reveals a path of renewed direction once the burning is complete. Ah, yes. A fire reveals a path of renewed direction once the burning is complete. So, 5 and 5. If it feels like massive changes have happened or that you're going to have to seriously turn some things around and shock people with your truth, like, hey, I know I said I liked this and I wanted that, but guess what? I lied. Or I just didn't know at the time. I didn't know, and I know better now. Honestly, you don't even have to explain it. Let the fire burn. Guess what? A fire burns away the winter real quick, burns away the cold real quick. When you're done coming through this metamorphosis and rising like a phoenix from the ashes, my beautiful golden leaf crew, you will find yourself basking in love, and that is a promise. So thank you so much for letting me be your reader today. It's been an honor to know you, to feel you, to be with you. And until we meet again, oh yeah, all the promotional stuff down in the description box below. You know how to show the love. You know how YouTube works. All of it. Yeah, that's all. I love you with all my heart. And until we meet again, bye for now. Hello, my beautiful Magenta bird crew, and welcome to your reading on why am I in the romantic winter of my life? We've got this beautiful blood card from the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck, and we're not going to look at it until after we've looked at tarot. I mean, we're going to look at it actually the entire time because I'm going to put it in the frame, but we're not going to go into it until we get to the end, essentially, and you'll understand why. Trust me, darling, but I feel like you already do. You're flying and you've got a heart. I'm going to set your little avatar down to the side, but before I do that, I want to remind you that above all, you are so very worthy of love. Particularly when we are in the romantic winters of our life, I know that love can feel very far away, and it can feel like something maybe we're not worthy of because it's not manifesting, it's not happening, it's not showing up in that beautiful way that romantic love in particular shows up. Very unique, very special. But from me and Spirit to you, you are incredibly worthy of love. More and not less, never less. May your heart be filled. May you be touched always and constantly reminded by the people, places, and things around you of how very true that is. So now I can set you down. The first thing we're going to do, my beautiful Magenta bird crew, is we're going to look at some animal archetypes. Again, also from Kim Kranz. I was joking to my Seahorse crew that she must be with us. Well, actually, it wasn't a joke. Her energy is with us very strongly. And I also recommended to them, and I'm feeling moved to recommend it to you as well, maybe looking into Kim Kranz's energy. I don't know. I know she creates tarot decks, but that's kind of the extent of it that I know. Maybe worth investigating because her energy is strong within this entire reading today, and you're here and I'm here, so I know what I'll be Googling podcasts and interview-wise later. With this, we are asking Spirit to provide us with 2 archetypes of the animal variety. The first is to tell us what spirit is growing, maximizing, and increasing in your life right now during this winter period in your romantic world. And what spirit is decreasing, healing, integrating, and then kind of doing away with as a result of the same period of time. The two are often very connected. We'll see how it plays out. It's been absolutely magical to witness for my Golden Leaf Crew and my Seahorse Crew. So for you, my Magenta bird, let's see what it is. Spirit, please show us what you are maximizing and showing light to and expanding and increasing as a character trait or as a behavior and energy within my Magenta bird crew. Please show us. Perfect. The crow, another bird. And please show us what you are making smaller and healing and reducing and diminishing and letting go of and releasing in my Magenta bird crew. It's you. It's you. Baby, it's you. The tiger, that came up also in my Golden Leaf Crew as a releasing element. So fascinating. This is fire. This is air. So let's take a look at what these energies feel like and mean for you. So a bird is what we're going into, and I can't help but notice, and of course, bird's the word, comes roaring into my psyche, but I can't help but notice this you as a bird, a magenta bird, with some red in there. How can we make that visible? Yeah, got some yellows, some orange, naranja, and some magenta, obviously. Then you've got the blood card here, very clearly red. Then you've got the crow, which has all the colors on this orb that it's sitting on. But of course, magenta and orange and yellow stick out to me here. And we're releasing the tiger. Now, the crow is all about wisdom. It's about calling it as it sees it. It's about magic. It is often associated with the crone archetype of the Mother, Maiden, Crone trio. The crone is also my favorite, just a heads up, which is probably why I know that. But the crow, oh, don't even mess with me. Crow and crone, come on. So the crow archetype, and something that spirit is enhancing here, is this ability to sit, watch, wait, and know. There's a strong intuitive quality here. You're building your spirituality. You're building your discernment. You're building your creativity. And you're building your own okayness. There's got to be a better way to say that. Your own peace. Your own ability to be at peace with the way things are as they are. And also your, interesting, your ability to keep secrets and keep your own worth secret. It's like there's no need to advertise it. There's an element here, man, it's not quite similar to the seahorse or to the golden leaf. No, it's different. It's all you. It's all you, magenta bird. It is this element of, I know who I am. I'm okay waiting on that, sitting on that, being with that. It's a matter of identity, but not discovering it, appreciating it. With the tiger here, and this being the fire element, I can see that there was a time, most probably very recently, and also in asking this question of spirit, I was also asking for an energy that had been tenacious and had been present in your field for some time, particularly during this winter. It's kind of the catalyst to this winter period. The tiger has a sort of an element. It has an intuition. It has a moon on its forehead. Let's bring that up so you can peep it. It has sort of an element of the crow in that it is wise. It is silent. Now, granted, the crow isn't always silent, but anyway, if you know crows, you know they can just be real wild with their vocals. The tiger can stalk. The tiger can hunt. The tiger is kind of a vicious hunter is what I want to say. And given that it's in the fire element here, this is all about movement. That gives me the Hosier movement song vibes. So move me, baby. Shake like the bough of a willow tree. But check it. You're releasing this need to move. You're releasing this need to hunt. You're releasing the need to turn your knowledge into action. Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, so this is about your romantic life. Yes, absolutely. And we're going to stay laser focused on that because that is what we're committed to. But I can also see it in other elements of your life too. And you, my beautiful Magenta Bird crew, are on the verge of a very transformative shift that is going to change your life in some very wonderful ways. And it could coincide with when winter ends and spring comes. As I have told my beautiful Seahorse and Golden Leaf crew, spring always arrives. It's not a matter of will it, it's a matter of when. And with your arrival of spring, which I'm referring to a very fulfilling emotional relationship, there could also be some other changes here because this is a huge shift and it's retaining certain spiritual elements of you, but decreasing the need for you to flash it, decreasing the need for you to show it. If you're a person who likes to talk and you're a person who likes to share your knowledge, if you often find yourself having the whole conversation at dinner and then like at the end you're trying to eat all your food and everyone finished forever ago because they were listening and you were doing the talking, we're letting that go in favor of this quieter, more knowledgeable. It's not that you're more knowledgeable. You've always been knowledgeable. You've always had all the things. But it's like, I will reveal this when the time is right. I will reveal this when this is ready. And it's, again, not just in your romantic life, but it's certainly in your romantic life. If you are somebody who, yeah, you may be in winter as far as a romantic connection of commitment, but I get the sense with the tiger here that you know how to use those apps and you don't have any problem getting needs met that other people would say only come through a relationship. You're like, no, if I need a physical need met, I get the need met. If I need a conversation met, like I need some kind of emotional intimacy, I'm going to call someone up and I'm going to have that. Again, things that people get met through whether it's physical or emotional intimacy, things that people typically get met through or believe only get met through a romantic. You in the past have been like, I can get this met right now, right here, tonight. That was an attempt at Bruno Mars auto-tune. So don't even ding me for that. But tonight, like you can get that. Is that 24 karat magic? I just wanna. Anyway. 24 karat magic though, that's you. Like you are 24 karat magic, or at least this is the part that spirit is healing and reducing. Like we're putting the reducing valve on this one here. Now spirit's saying you don't have to get it anymore. You are shifting into a receptive state. So kind of the opposite of my Golden Leaf crew. You are shifting into it, but not exactly. Don't quote me on that. All of these are vastly different energies, which is always fun when that happens. You're going into this I wait receptive state. And that could mean a whole host of things. With the blood card here, we're not going to get into the meaning fully yet, or at least I was not planning on it. But there's an element here of vitality and the role of blood, which is both, and I'm thinking in both terms of the masculine and the feminine here, because blood is so relevant to both archetypes, masculine and feminine. And here it's like you're shifting away from the one who draws the blood, like a vampire, to being the one who bleeds. And it's like a shift from domination to receptivity. It doesn't have to even be, projective to receptive energy. So this is something that spirit is working with you on right now, because in this winter of romantic life, the relationship or the partnership that you are attracting in the spring, it has you in this crow energy of being more receptive, of being quieter, just shifting that polarity. So it's like the time to go forth and hunt and take what you want has now shifted. But let's get some more information through the tarot. We are using the Chrysalis Tarot, an absolutely magical deck, which in my mind coincides beautifully with the idea of the Mother Maiden Crone archetype and the crone. And you'll see why. If you haven't already seen the imagery of the Chrysalis Tarot, You'll get it immediately, darling. Well, let me just show you. Like, here is the Celtic owl, another bird, as the Hanged Man. And you can see it has this mystical, fantastical vibe that's totally matching. Hey, only problem is when you can't pick it up off the table. Don't mind me, I've gone goofy. So how's your day going? Let me know. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. My beautiful Magenta bird crew. Ooh, come back. I have committed to not taking any jumping cards for this reading. No particular reason why. I'm just looking for a little more organization, order, and efficiency. And somehow the jumping cards are like a wild card every time. I'm not going to say they bring in a disruptive energy, but they bring in a disruptive energy. So spirits, show us, why is my beautiful magenta bird, how'd you get hidden over there? What is my magenta bird? Why are they in the winter of their romantic life right now? The winter of their romantic life. Let's do another shuffle. We're getting closer. Ooh, we want to do reversals. Okay, we're doing reversals. We're also doing reversals. Whee! Okay. How is my beautiful, whoa, magenta bird? Why? Not how. We know how. But we could talk a little bit about how. But why are they in? We have the Muse, Queen of Spirals, upright. Oh. We have Hearn the Hunter, the Chariot. We have the Five of Scrolls, reversed. And we have the Page of Spirals, that is labeled as the Mime here. That would also be the Page of Wands. And this is the Queen of Wands, if I didn't already say that. So now bringing in the clarity, please, spirits. Clarify for us the Queen of Spirals. Kali the Tower. Clarify Hearn the Hunter, please. The Empress in reverse. Yep. Clarify Five of Scrolls, please, which is our Five of Swords. Seven of Stones. And clarify the Mime. The Hanged Man in reverse. Now weren't we just pointing out the Celtic owl? And then we've got the Five of Mirrors, which is our Five of Cups as the back of the deck energy. Wow. Okay. I don't know if you're a fiery type. But let me say that this can all be summed up really briefly. Too briefly, as a matter of fact. Even though I was going for efficiency and speed, see, I just put that intention out there and you met me there, my beautiful magenta bird. That would be a little too fast. We don't want to go that fast. But let's just do it. With the Five of Mirrors here, there's a fear that being in a submissive, surrendering, receptive energy is going to lead to heartbreak and pain, which is why we've taken the tact of the tiger for so long. There's a fear when it comes to the blood card here, and we'll talk about it again at the end as promised, but it's asking to be made known a little bit sooner. So let's make it known. Let's answer its call. With the blood card, there is a sensitivity to life force and vitality. And it tells me, my beautiful magenta bird, that in the past, when you were placed in a receptive state where you were at the behest of someone else's authority and control, whether that was a caretaker, parent, teacher, or professor, someone or a boss, employer, what did I miss here? You name it, it's there. They didn't do it right. They didn't. Leaders who have been in charge of you before, who have been over you, have not had the level of integrity or care that you have, my beautiful magenta bird crew. So there is this sort of fear of surrendering. It's fear that you'll lose blood, honestly, that you'll lose life force and you'll lose vitality. And your life and your vitality and your autonomy and your power and your independence are so very important to you. You are an individual who is rightfully alive. You make your choices. You know who you are. You know what you want. And then you tend to go get it with this tiger here. At least historically speaking, if you want it, you go forth and you get it, and you do so with relative ease, and that's always worked for you. And yet you're in the winter of your romantic life because that is not going to be the strategy that attracts you to the long-term partner that arises in the spring. So with the Five of Mirrors here, that's our Five of Cups. It's a beautifully illustrated card, and let's look at it closely because they've taken away a lot of the pain and suffering that's usually depicted on this card. The Five of Mirrors often is empty cups, someone walking away sad, things are kicked over. Oops, there's Justice on the back of the deck popping out. Things are kicked over, like things are over. This is a beautiful rendition of an energy that is usually about loss and grief, but it's not so much about loss and grief here. For you, it's this. I would rather protect my life force energy and my vitality than risk putting myself in a position where it gets used against me and where I am wounded or made less strong or less vital or less powerful. The color red here is incredibly powerful, my beautiful magenta bird. But the fact that you're magenta, it's like this hybrid between red and there's white and pink. It's a gentler, Spirit is moving you into a gentler version. You're even, look, I placed you here, but you're even flying away from this intense red and going into this area, this new phase in this winter. What you're learning is to be the receiver, the receptive, to trust other people, to believe that they are going to do right by you and protect your body and protect your health and your wellness and your independence. So with the Muse, the Queen of Spirals and the Queen of Wands, is the Queen of Wands, over Kali the Tower. The Queen of Wands is our most, well, in my opinion, magnetic manifester of the tarot, who manifests by doing nothing. But in here, she's like standing here with a deer. Deers are notoriously shy. Notoriously may not be the right word. Famously shy. That's better, because notorious has a negative connotation, and I think they're just famously shy. I had a great dream about a little fawn the other day, and we'll talk more about that some other time. But anyway, in this though, you've experienced, in your times when you've been that Queen of Wands before, and you've waited and allowed other people to take the lead, essentially, and allow other people to step up and assert their projective, we could say, masculine energy, it has not ended well with the tower underneath this. It has been, as we talked about, painful, like literally for your body even. There could have been wounding there, physical wounding. It just hasn't been safe. And whether you consciously or unconsciously recognize that, it developed into this propensity to be more like the King of Wands. Or we could say the Emperor, which is heavy. It's not represented here right now, but the energy is present. It's here in the Chariot. It's this heavy, I'm going to go forth and get it masculine energy. With her and the Hunter, this is scary as beep to me. Let's see if I can show you that without a glare. It's this creature that's got its knife, or its sword up in the air, which almost looks like a whip, and it's about to bring it down on something. And it looks like this thing wants to kill me, kind of. This is the energy that you shifted into as a result of negative experiences with the magnetic receptive perspective. Unfortunately, what excess Chariot energy does is ultimately drain our life force, which is in a way ironic, but not, because that's how the universe always works. The Spirit is always doing this thing with paradoxes. Again, we'll talk about that later. But you've, in an attempt to protect your life force and vitality, your blood, it's actually been drained by this excessive, projective, go forth and get it energy, which has led to the Empress in reverse here. This is, again, another attractive character. When I say attractive, I don't just mean physically, I mean magnetic, similar to the energy of the Queen of Spirals. But this is even a step above the Queen of Spirals. The Empress is all the queens combined. It's totally receptive, fertile, gentle, and yet strong. It's all of the light characteristics of the feminine. But when we see it in reverse here, supporting the Chariot, we see that these feminine qualities have really been, and it doesn't matter if you identify male or female or any gender on the spectrum of gender, if you feel like you've been outgoing and getting what you want, and you feel now maybe not confused, but curious about why you're in the winter of your romance when you've usually been so fine at manifesting everything. It's because Spirit wants you to shift into this passive receptive role. And again, this is going to be a paradigm shift for your entire life. It's not just about this. It's going to improve your health, is what I'm being told by Spirit. Because when there's this imbalance again of projective, go forth and get it type of energy, it depletes youth, it depletes vitality, it depletes fertility, it depletes all kinds of things. You may feel like maybe more successful than you've ever been, especially career-wise, but maybe less vital, less, I'm hearing less beautiful, which is interesting because I believe you're quite beautiful. But you feel like the glow is kind of like it's flickering. It's flickering, like I'm seeing Tinkerbell when nobody believes in Tinkerbell and the life force goes away. So Spirit has put you in this winter position to say, when you shift back into this Queen of Spirals, when we turn this Empress around and we get back into this receptive energy, particularly in the field of romance, and we allow ourselves to magnetically draw in our match, that is going to be the paradigm shift here. With the 5 of Scrolls in reverse over the 7 of Stones, 7 of Stones is our 7 of Pentacles, my patience card. Every time I see 7 of Pentacles in any deck, I'm like, woo, that's patience. With this one, I also get this feeling of, first of all, very delicate femininity, and there's a musical quality here. It's like understanding the value of patience over, and even though this is the undercard because it's reversed, I'm going to say over this 5 of Scrolls attitude, which is our 5 of Swords, which is, it's mine, I want it, I put my sword in. 5 of Swords is all about winning, sometimes in the not the most noble way, but like winning through force, like force and stubbornness. I said it, that's what it is, that's what I meant, that's who I am, that's what I want. It's like a very immobile kind of energy that often leaves us lonely. Spirit wants you to recognize, and the reason why you're in this winter romantically is so you can fall back in love with the beauty and the art of passivity, of patience, of literally stopping and watching plants grow, of the slow life. Fall back in love with malleability, with kind of like this crow energy. I see a similarity between these two figures, at least energetically. I don't know if I can say. My eyeballs may not say that there's a similarity, but my third eye is like, yo, this is like the same card energetically. There's this quality of falling back in love with, I know what I possess, I know who I am, I know what I've done, I know my worth, I know my wisdom, I know my maturity, and now I wait. And I fall back in love with letting it magnetize to me. I don't have to go out and get it. This is like putting the reducing valve on the apps. It's putting the reducing valve on potentially if you enjoy casual encounters. It's putting the reducing valve on feeling like you need to meet your own needs and you need to make everything happen. And it's falling back in love with the slow life, the soft life, particularly as it pertains to romance. Now here with the Mime, that's our Page of Spirals, over the Hanged Man. We have the slowest, most patient card in the deck, my opinion, and the major arcana version of that card, also my opinion, which is the Hanged Man, but it's in reverse with the Page of Spirals here. So I'm hearing the song, I'm a Firestarter. You're used to being a Firestarter, my beautiful magenta bird. We see it with the blood, we see it with the red and the tiger. And I believe you're a very patient person. But I think that your resilient spirit tells you there's no obstacle too great to be surmounted. Nothing can't be figured out. Well, there's a better way to say that. Everything is figure-outable. You're an empowered individual. So it may have been difficult for you, my beautiful Magenta bird crew, to even admit that you were in a romantic winter. Because I think that you're so empowered and so free and so full of energy and vitality that you've been enjoying this time, maybe even by pretending it wasn't a winter. And Spirit is saying, it's time to understand now what this has been. You can play in this and continue to play with this Page of Spirals energy with the small potatoes. Meaning like, you're not hooking up with people who you plan to have ever after with, or maybe you are, but you don't really see them in your long-term future. But you want to have the physical connection, you want to have the emotional connection, and you want to go on dates, and you want to play the field and do all the things, and yeah, you get me. And you can keep doing that. But Spirit is saying that that will cause the winter to be prolonged. That will cause this stagnation with the Hanged Man in reverse here to stay stagnant, stay stuck, stay exactly where you are. However, if you give up the small potatoes and you get patient and you go into this yin is a better way to say it rather than feminine, because yin captures receptive qualities and is totally non-gendered. If you go into this yin state with this lotus and you get to know your slow life and you get down with your meditation and you start acquainting yourself with your crone archetype, wise, patient, knowing who you are and what you are, and also being ready for change, playing instead of the aggressor, the receiver. That's not an exact opposite. But instead of playing this tiger, playing the patient, wise one. And I say playing because A, it can be fun, and B, you're taking this energy on. At first, it's going to feel a little odd. It's going to feel a little different. That is going to bring this winter to an end. That is going to bring this winter period of a question asking, like, where are all the real ones? Or where are the long-term potentials who are my perfect match? Where the real matches? Spirit's saying, when you get real, when you get slow, when you get receptive, when you get magnetic, when you get patient, when you get gentle, that's when they pop up. That's when spring is arriving. That's when your partner goes, oh, there they are. Because your partner is going to be in spring, this individual who is coming, because once again, winter does not last forever. They're going to be relying on that receptive energy. That fulfills something for them, just as they will have the ingredients to fulfill this, what this has been for you. So you don't have to do it all. You don't have to be yin and yang, masculine and feminine. Spirit's asking you to slip into, irrespective of your gender. You could identify as the manliest man ever, or the masculinist masculine on the gender spectrum ever, and fit into every silo that falls stereotypically under that bracket. And yet Spirit still asks you to become gentler, more receptive, and trusting. Because ultimately what your receptivity signals to yourself is that you've learned to trust other people's leadership again. Ooh, you have learned to trust other people's leadership again. And learning that is why you're in this winter. Wow. So I promised we would talk about the blood card. We've touched on it so many times. It refers to vitality. It refers to life force. It refers to what Spirit wants you to understand is that you don't have to be the sole protector of your life force, that others want to look out for your best interest. Others will actually make your blood stronger, richer. That partnership and romance and love, particularly when you surrender to it and play this receptive, gentle role, can be exactly the missing ingredient for your vitality that brings you back to life physically. There's something so important about your physical health here being improved by this energy shift, in addition to spring blossoming and drawing in that beautiful romantic partner. So I'll set this I'll leave it here. We're going to do one last thing, which is get an affirmation from the beautiful Kahn. And we're going to ask Spirit for my gorgeous Magenta bird crew. What affirmation do you want them to have, Spirit, anytime they need a reminder, or they're feeling this tiger coming back on, and they're slipping into that I create it myself hyper, like I need to protect myself, I need to protect my vitality by taking the lead, because if I don't, no one will. How do we mitigate and heal that? With what affirmation, please? Spirit, give us the affirmation. Another shuffle, and I gotta close my eyes for this one, apparently. So it gets sloppy, forgive me. Spirit, show us what is the affirmation for them. Ooh, ooh. Overcoming fear. Beautiful. Overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss. Wow, that's beautiful. I will transcend every loss. Overcoming fear. Yeah, because sometimes when you sit and you wait in a receptive place, it can feel like you're losing. FOMO can kick in. Additionally, being in a receptive place requires immense courage, because it puts others who are in a projective place in a role where they have the power to affect you deeply. So, my beautiful magenta bird, in overcoming the fear and building that trust in the universe and others, you will fully integrate the lessons of this winter and prepare for the burgeoning, verdant spring that is ahead of you, because I foresee glorious love that changes you on every level. So, and this is where I sign off. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be your reader. Thank you for bearing with me and being part of this journey. You know how to like and support. It's all there, all the ways that you can support the little reader. It's in the description box. You know what to do. Until we meet again, I'm sending you all the love I've got. Bye for now, beautiful soul.